Yeah, with Ben and Rob, we're hitting the scene. From the couch to the track, chasing that dream. Ben's the promi lad with the accent flair. Rob's the towering Stokey with the fitness to spare. Started on the sofa, now we're breaking the mold. Lacing up our trainers, let the stories unfold. From injury struggles to the runner's high, we faced it all, now we're aiming sky high. Couch to coach, we're on the move, sharing running tips and the latest groove. Join the journey step by step, with Ben and Rob you'll find your pep. Rob's powerful stride, though he once took a hit. Goose Bruni couldn't make him quit. Ben's got the charm, though his arms might slip. Together they inspire with every quip. From Birmingham streets to Stocks Green lanes, we're conquering miles, embracing the gains. Whether you're a newbie or seasoned pro, tune in weekly, let's get set, go. Couch to coach, we're on the move, sharing running tips and the latest groove. Join the journey step by step, with Ben and Rob you'll find your pep. So hit that play button, don't delay. With the Couch to Coach crew, you're on your way. From the first mile to the marathon's end, let's run this race together, friend.
And we are live. Ta-da!
That
We're
was good.
here.
In flesh, live in the flesh, live in
Do
the
all
flesh.
that malarkey like the kids do. Keep with down with the kids. By the way, for people that are listening,
Was that fancy
we're doing the
one that
love
you're doing
heart.
with loads of different hands, and I can't do it.
I'll just do that one. I'll do the Gareth Bale version. We're doing love hearts with hands.
There's like a fancy one. I can't.
No idea.
No, what's that?
That's the glasses one, isn't it? Like that.
John McGinn. That's Super
John McGinn,
that is. So we're live on
We
YouTube.
We are live, and we have people watching. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben. I think Ben is the guy that is watching the YouTube for the questions.
I'm watching us on YouTube. So I'm watching you watching us on YouTube.
Yeah. So if anybody has got any questions, it could be absolutely anything. It could be running related. It could be non-running related. It could be Snowdon climbing related. It could be Utox to half related. It could be Mile Cop Killer Mile related. It could be Deadly Dozen related.
It could be how do you make a cup of tea related.
It could be how do you make a cup of tea related. It could
what
be
did
what
I
you
have
have
for
on
dinner related.
What do you have on your sandwiches related. We won't go into that again.
It could
be
that
nearly broke us up. That jam and ham
sandwiches. It could be into your favourite pets. Is it a reptile? Is it a lizard? Is it anything?
Absolutely anything. We will answer your questions.
Teresa Marsh is watching, so good evening to you, Teresa Marsh.
Hi, Teresa. That's Carl's other half. So hello, Teresa. How are you doing? You okay?
Fabulous, fabulous. So how have you been?
I've been okay. I have been okay. I'm back running. Finally, I'm back running. It's been a while since I've properly ran, like consistently. So I have been trying to keep consistent to the best of my ability.
You have had a niggle, haven't you? A really dodgy.
Yeah.
As you put it to me the other day,
first foot and my second foot.
I'm going to show you up now. I messaged Rob the other day and said, how are you doing? Are you okay? How's your injury? And he said, well, my first foot is okay, but my second foot is not, or whatever. But I found it quite funny that you claim to have a first and a second foot.
I meant my first injury. So I injured my foot first.
Done it again?
Injured. I know. I injured my foot the first time, and then that was fine. I went and played football, and then injured my other foot the second time. But that is now, touch wood, okay. And I've been okay for the last couple. I've been okay for the last week and a half, and I have been running, and I have been racing. Which we'll come on to in a bit. But yeah,
you've been out racing.
Yeah, and it's been nice to get back. And being Mental Health Awareness Week, I'm going to be honest with people. I have had my mental health hasn't been fantastic over the last couple of weeks, couple of months probably. I had a bit of a health scare just before Christmas, and that didn't help me. And I think not being able to run for 4, 5, 6 weeks again massively impacted on my mental health. But I feel better. I'm not 100%, but I'm better since back running. Been to see the doctor. I started on some medication. Like I say, I'll be honest and open and honest with people, and I'm feeling a lot better than I was. And I think it's really important that we do talk about mental health, and being Mental Health Awareness
Absolutely.
Week. It's really important, and it is also Mental Health Nurses Day today. We're recording this on Monday, so it is Mental Health Nurses Day. So it is my day today as well.
Mental
I think it's
Health
just
Nurses
I
Day.
think it's just Nurses Day. To be fair, I think it's just all nurses. So it's just congratulations to all nurses for being nurses.
Well, fair play. I mean, yeah, I think people, nurses do
Yeah,
fantastic stuff. So that is, it's fitting, really. But I think being honest like that is a good thing.
yeah,
I think we probably like. I mean, I've been through my own battles in the last 12 months, and you were there supporting me.
yeah.
We've spoken a lot over the last week or so about,
We have.
you know, how you're getting on, and I think we also have said in the past, like if anybody is struggling, then we obviously are here to listen to you listeners as well if you do have any difficulties,
Yeah.
because we should encourage people to talk about it more.
I think talking is the most important thing. I think people underestimate the power of talking.
Yeah,
I think just to get things off your chest helps. Just to have that conversation, just to open up a little bit. You don't have to open up
absolutely.
100%. You can obviously hold things back if you want to hold things back, but to just have that chat, even if it isn't about your mental health, even if it isn't about your health in general,
Yeah.
I think it's really important that you do have that conversation, and I have been able to do that with people anyway. I always do find that as an opportunity, and I think as a man, we sometimes struggle to open up and talk about things, but I think it's really important that we do.
Oh,
Um,
totally, totally.
so
And admirable of you to talk about that on a YouTube live podcast because
I know.
we have we have got people watching. Emma
Yeah.
Bridges, James
Hello.
Mitchell,
Hello.
they've tuned in this evening, and we've also got so actually we are joined by Teresa and Carl,
Oh,
of
okay. Hello to
course,
his Carl.
watching us on one screen. That's nice.
It is.
Um, and we've had some comments. James has said, "Evening, chaps. Don't worry, Ben. He couldn't get his words out at club either.
I couldn't. I
You've been
couldn't. We just put back from club.
stumbling over your words at club tonight, were you?"
Yes, yes, I was. Yeah. And what's
Emma,
happened? And I've just seen Emma Bridges. What's happened? What happened to Chris's turn and nips on Sunday? We will come on to that.
ooh, are we going to talk about Chris's nips?
Chris Turner's nips. Chris T Dog Turner's nips.
So that's going to be talked about on a live YouTube podcast, and obviously broadcast to the world in our standard podcast available on Spotify. So we'll talk about his nips in a bit.
Yeah,
But you are back running. Your
I am.
first foot and your second foot are better,
Yeah.
and you're feeling better in your mental health for getting out and doing a little bit, right?
And I think, yeah, running in this weather as well, because it's been lovely, although it was really hot yesterday
Yeah,
when you touched the half, it does help being out with nature and having that ability to just have a wander. I
yeah,
know we went up Snowdon last week,
yeah,
and that was love. That was really nice and really good for my mental health as well. And I think being
yeah.
around people that you enjoy being around and speaking to people that you enjoy speaking to out in nature, and the mesmerizing view that we saw at Snowdon, that's helped as well. So
Good. I'm, I'm glad it helped. I mean, we had a
yeah,
great time, didn't we? To be fair,
it was really good.
it
It
was
was such a
fantastic.
laugh as
It
well. Such
was.
a laugh. It was
It
really funny.
was. I mean, thanks to the people that chipped in
Yeah,
with some advice,
yeah,
because
definitely.
we did need the advice, to be fair,
We
because
did.
I mean I still went a little bit underdressed, to be fair, but we both went up in shorts.
We did.
But I'm so glad that we were advised to take things like windbreaker jackets and
Yeah.
the old hats and gloves, because it was so cold at the top. It
I
was
didn't have any
so
hats.
cold.
I didn't have a hat. Didn't have a gloves. I had my jumper, and I did have a windbreaker jacket in my bag, but I never actually got it out.
You're hard though, you aren't you?
I am. I'm from Stoke. I'm from Stoke Amord.
Don't
But
feel the
I was
cold in
cold.
Stoke.
It was so cold. It was so cold at the top of Snowdon. And I
Yeah.
know that. Just a shout out for Helen Ryvar. Helen Ryvar is going back up Snowdon. She enjoyed it that much. She is doing a Helen Ryvar social on the 1st
So,
of June.
What did she do? Forget her keys or something? Going back up.
Yeah, she forgot a bag like you did. But she's
Hmm.
doing a social event. So if anybody wants to join Helen Ryvar on the 1st of June, I think
Yeah.
they're going up the same path that we went up Lamberris on the 8 o'clock on the 1st of June. I can't unfortunately go because it's the same day as Westbridge, which I'm booked to do the run. But if anybody does fancy it, let Helen Ryvar know, and she will meet you at Lamberris path, and you will walk up the same route that we walked up.
And prizes for anybody
I was
that
gonna say.
spots the couch to coach stickers.
If they're still there and anybody takes a picture of the sticker or stickers, there's a couple of stickers
If you can find them.
up the top at the summit, and also maybe might be some in the cafe. Have a look, find them, send us a picture, and we will get you a prize. It could be a money can't buy prize. It'd be a magnet, probably.
I'm still expecting an email from somebody saying that we've broken the law and we're going to be fined for you sticking stickers on the actual sign of the summit at Snowdon and inside the coffee shop.
I never did that. It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't
It
me.
wasn't.
It wasn't me. I deny all knowledge of that. I saw it and took a video of it, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, it must have been a really loyal fan that did it.
It was. I think it
Yeah.
was.
So
Same
what should
day.
we talk about? Do you want to talk about Uttoxeter first? Or what came first? Malcop. Let's do Malcop. I
So my
didn't go
running
to
this.
Malcop.
So my running this week, I went out and I did a run on my own on the Monday. I can't remember why I didn't. Oh, it was Bank Holiday Monday, wasn't it? So I didn't go out with club on the Monday. I did 4 and a bit miles on my own around my local area. Didn't do anything Tuesday, and then Wednesday it was Malcop. Was it Malcop Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? Thursday, sorry, yeah. So
because I was supposed to come to Malcop, but I looked at the traffic when I'd finished work. So I finished work at 4:30.
Yeah.
And got in my car and thought, oh, I'll head over early. But it was still going to take me 2 hours at 4:30 with the traffic getting out of Birmingham. So I thought I'll go home for a little bit. Got home about half an hour later and still looked at the sat nav and it was saying I would get there at, I think from 5 o'clock I was going to get there at 7:10, and our first race was 7:15. And there was no way I was sitting in the car for a 3-hour round trip to run 2 miles, as much as it's a beautiful race. So I let you down. I do apologise.
It's fine. It's not a problem. There was people there that I was able to talk to and speak to and spend some time with, so it was absolutely fine. So yeah, so I went and running friends. I did it twice. So you did it 3 times last year, and I did it twice this year. And the first time I did it, I got a PB, so a kilo-mile PB. I think it was 12 minutes.
Did you?
Yeah, 12 minutes 40 or something. 40.
So you didn't hold back then?
No, I went up. I had to walk at points. There is a video coming out soon on YouTube of Malcop Kilo-Mile. I interview and speak to, well, I say interview, I speak to Robbie Burns whilst he's interviewing me for the R Factor on YouTube. It's quite weird because I'm recording as he's recording. And I also spoke to a friend of the show, Chris Ridgway, as well. He gets on all the YouTube videos. So I spoke to him about Manchester Marathon and what he was going for at Malcop. So I ran up and was speaking to Dr. Dre Christini, if you're listening, Dre, as before we went up there. And I got up to the top, took my medal, and then ran back down. And I had to run quite fast down because I had to get back in time for the second race. So I went and did elite race number 1, which was my first race, ran back down the kilo-mile, which was once I never ran it last year, run down. I know that you did. God, you go fast down there.
You have to have a quick turnaround because obviously you get into the start or the checkpoint, if you like, for the race. And obviously doing the last one, they start taking the start line away.
Yeah. So I literally just got to the front when they started. So I nipped round the back, put my other number on, and then ran up with everybody else.
It's arguably harder, potentially, running down kilo-mile than it is
It
running
should,
up Killamile. It
it should
is
toes.
actually quite tough
Yeah.
because you're having to put your brakes on, so you're getting a right hammering on your quads, and as you say, in your toes and stuff. So I think it is one of them. It's not easy to run down. You did really
Mm.
well, to be fair. I looked at your 2 miles, and it was very, very good.
Yeah, and then I did 15 minutes on the second mile. I recorded the first one. I was like, I'm not doing the second one. I couldn't face having to do the second one, so I only recorded the first one. Spoke to Ken and Sue. Um, got my picture with the sign saying I conquered Mile Cop, and I added at the bottom there twice.
Going very
Um,
well on Instagram, that is. Check it out
yeah,
on Instagram.
yeah.
If
Go
you're
check the
watching
Instagram.
this as well and you did Malcop, let us know in the comments
Yes.
or drop us some comments about your time, how you found it. If you didn't do it, are you going to do it next year? Let
Yeah.
us know if you're watching, if you did Malcop.
I know Chris Turner did it. Chris did it. I know Robbie Burns did it. There's quite a few people there that I know. Emma was at the top. She was very encouraging. I saw Steve Canning. Steve was there
Oh,
from
yeah.
Congleton. He's upset because obviously Congleton Half this year has been cancelled. They're hoping it will be back next year. Fingers crossed.
Any
Um,
reasons why? Do we know anything
I
about
think
it?
it was just time, and I think it was people signing up, and I think it was
Yeah,
just too much. So
great shame.
Steve was quite upset about it when I spoke to him about it. So
I
shout out
can
to
imagine.
Steve. He put his heart and soul into that race. I can remember when he first came on the podcast. He's a
Yeah,
he's lovely. He's
absolutely.
brilliant guy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, hopefully they'll be back next year
Mm.
with Congleton Half because that is my PB. That is my PB for half marathon at Congleton Half. So I wanted to get another PB there this year. But yeah, so they were there. Who else did I see? Who else did I see? So Rob McHugh. He's now moved from Stoke Fit. He's now running for Biddulph. Rob Scott
Oh,
McHugh. I know.
I always find it
Um,
quite interesting when people move from one club to another. It's a bit like
mm,
transfer deadline. Why are you doing that? Like
yeah.
it was when Julianne went from Newcastle to
To Silverdale.
Silverdale.
Yeah.
Michelle went from Stoke to Silverdale.
Silverdale.
A couple of key signings for Silverdale. Oof.
Yeah. What else did I see? There's other people. There was loads of people there anyway, so I spoke to
Mm.
quite a few people, and it was really good. I do enjoy Malcop. It's hard work, but it is a good event. And we
Mm.
got medals this year. I got 2 medals and a little certificate that I wrote on my times and wrote on that I did it twice. Like I say, so Ken, he was giving everybody a shout out, and Sue. Um, so that was Thursday. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. And they were a lot more coordinated this year because last year it was quite hard to try and get your number. There was queues for ages, and the races got delayed.
It
But
was
they were
late
on,
last year, quite a lot,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, they were on time this year, spot on time as well. I think with the runs. So
Very good.
shout out to the event organisers, Chaffinch of Malcop Killamile, and we will be back next year. I might even do it 3 times next year. We'll see.
Oh, that's a
We'll see.
challenge.
Yeah, we'll get Killer Mile race organisers on the podcast as well. We didn't manage to get them on this year. We were getting
No.
to, but we couldn't get them on. But hopefully we can. So I did that on Thursday. Didn't do anything
Carly
Friday.
Chorn has joined us. Good
Hello,
evening,
Carly.
Carly.
And then on Saturday, Combined Run Club is back. It's our first run of the year. Unfortunately, there was only a couple of us, me and Sue, attended. We went to Trentham Gardens, but it is what it is. And hopefully, if there's people from Combined listening to this, we can start it again. I'm going to send some dates out, and we can get back at Park Run. So I enjoyed that. A little trek around Trentham, and I have got. What I'm going to do. I'm going to try something. I'm going to share my screen
Well, whilst you're
live
doing
on
that,
YouTube.
Carly said, "Don't forget her excellent spectating skills at Killer Mile, Rob."
Oh yeah, of
She's
course.
asking for a shout out.
Yes, you're more than welcome to a shout out. She was a very good spectator. I did try and persuade her to run. I did say that she could have your number, but she was having none of it. And she had just
Yeah.
done Manchester the weekend before, so I give
Yeah,
her
well
a
done on
hour off.
Manchester, Carly. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
So what I'm going to do, I've got a little bit of a video. I'm not going to show the whole video, but I have got a video of. We're just going to try something different today. So I've got a video. I might cut this out of the actual podcast, but I'm going to show you
The pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
The
See if you can
pressure
get it.
is on.
Let me know when you can see that. Trentham Gardens Park Run, 10th of May. Can you see it yet? No. Oh, where's he gone?
Oh,
No.
he's fluffing his loins.
It won't let me do it. It won't let me do it. He doesn't like it.
Doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. Just
Let me
bang
just
it on
try.
YouTube, and it's on
Yeah,
YouTube already.
It is on YouTube. It is on
So
YouTube already.
if you're watching this and you're thinking, "What the bloody hell's he going on about?" Go and have a look at Rob's Couch to Coach Park Run Tourism from Trentham Gardens, because it's a lovely little video.
It is.
Big
I'm
man's
getting
doing
better.
well at his. He's doing well at his content creation. He's the big man.
I'm
You're
getting
doing
better.
well.
There's a Malcott video soon to be released. I need to just put it on YouTube.
And you did Utoxeter.
I did Utoxeter.
So before we talk about your Utoxeter, can we please, suspense is killing me. Can we talk about Chris's nips?
After, because it comes at the end of Utoxeter. So I'll
then.
tell you what happens with Chris's nips.
Have
As
to
long
wait
as
a little
Chris
bit
is
longer.
happy for me to share live on YouTube, live on the podcast, because I think he is watching. So, Chris, give a thumbs up or thumbs down on YouTube if I'm allowed to divulge the information about your nips. Just give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. But Utoxeter half, I wasn't planning on doing Utoxeter half because it was Arthur's supposed to be first friendly. However, it was cancelled. The other team cancelled. So I was like, umming and ahhing, and I saw that Angelina Ballerina, so Angie White is, to put on Facebook that her husband Roger was giving a place away if anybody wanted it. And I contacted to say that I'll try and find somebody for her. And then I thought, well, I may as well try and get it. So I did it. And I contacted Utoxeter half, and they said that I need to turn up on the day and just take some confirmation, and hopefully they can transfer the place. And I was like, oh, even if I go and they can't, I might just watch it anyway. I'm not that bothered about doing it. It's a good half. I love the half. Absolutely love the half. It's really well run though. Really, and it's lovely because you start off at the race course and you finish in the race course. So I absolutely love Utoxeter half. And I spoke to the race director. I can't remember his name. Apologies if you listen to the podcast. But I do really like Utoxeter half. The last couple of years, it's been absolutely torrential rain. So I was I wasn't expecting rain, and my PB there is 2 hours 1, I think it is. And I thought, let's see if I can get under 2 hours. And it was the hottest day ever, it felt like. And I started off really, really, really well. I was really consistent with my pacing. Well, consistent-ish with my pacing. I was looking earlier, and the first mile I do in 8:53, then 9:31.
You've gone out hard there, though.
I have gone out quite hard, to be fair.
You said you've done quite well. You've gone out hard because I know that first mile.
I know. And then 9:31.
It's not downhill. Why are you running that quick?
Isn't. 9:31, and that's uphill. And then 8:58, mile 3.
The wheels fell off.
9:07, 8:39, but that was like downhill that bit. And then the wheels literally came off.
Can I just pause a second? Can I just pause a second here? So I said to you in your plan, because you've had this injury, I said, you messaged me the other day and before this and said, shall I do Utoxeter with your injury? And I kind of said to you, yeah, because you're feeling like you've had a good week, the injury's going away, and what we need to do is, because you've got this ultra coming up in July, we need to build your mileage up. So why not do it and take it nice and easy? You've absolutely hammered that first 2 or 3 miles on an uphill course, and then the reason I'm bringing this up is because I messaged you and Emma Bridges this morning. Emma, you're watching this, you can vouch for me here. I messaged you both and said your training plan's up for this week. Nothing silly now, you pair.
And I don't do silly.
And that was exactly what you said. I don't do silly. Well, what were you doing on Sunday?
I felt good. I genuinely felt really good. And I thought, I'm not going to push it too, well, I pushed it quite a bit, to be fair. But when I did Congleton half, it was a similar kind of scenario. I didn't expect to get a PB. And then at similar times for my first couple of miles at Congleton half. And I thought to myself, I'm going to see if I can sustain it. I got to a mile.
But you're running uphill.
I know, but Uttoxeter's quite hilly as well, and it was really, really hot. So I got to about just before mile 6.5, and the wheels just
Can you see what I'm
literally
dealing with?
the wheels and the bonnet and the windscreen and the
Good.
wing mirrors and the spoiler literally fell off. It wasn't just the wheels, and it just completely killed me. A guy in front of me started walking, and I thought to myself, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to have a walk."
No, the abuse is coming in now. So we've got
Oh dear.
James Mitchell, Ben's in shock. Silito couldn't resist going for a mug. You are like literally like I'm glad because last year at Uttoxeter, after I'd been out the night before and had 4 pints and turned up because I said I was going to run it with you, you went, "Go on, have a go, see if you can do it." Talked me into nearly throwing up at mile 9 on the hills or whenever it was. I'm glad it's happened to you this year because revenge that is. Unbelievable.
But it was good. But then I was jeffing most of the way, literally walking, running. It was so hard, so hot. I had a cap on. I'd never wear a cap because I didn't want to burn. Yeah, I didn't want to burn my head because I know for a fact every time I go out for a run in the sun, my head gets burnt. When I went to Snowdon, I got burnt. My head got burnt. Can you remember me telling you? So I wore a cap, and I never wear a cap. So I was kept swapping it from the front to the back.
I'm backwards as well.
Yeah. There's a picture of me. I'll send you the picture. There's a picture of me with him on backwards.
Jesus, I bet you look like Jason Statham, didn't you?
No, I look like Anton Deck from the 1990s.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, so I did that, and then about mile 7, the wheels fell off. Literally couldn't go any further. So I thought, right, I'm just going to sit back. And people were going past me. A couple of Group Fs went past me. About mile 9, 10 maybe. A guy from Group F went past me, and I thought, oh, I can't catch him. He was walking, running. And every time I tried to run to catch him, he'd carry on running, and then I'd walk and he'd walk, so we couldn't catch him. And then another Group F went past me, and I just couldn't get any pace. But literally the last mile is all downhill, so it's a fantastic last mile. So you go flying down the last mile, and I could see the 2 people that had overtaken me in front of me. So as you go into Uttoxeter Racecourse, they've changed the course so it doesn't do that dog leg anymore. You run down the straight and then you turn left. I was gaining on this guy. His name's Clive. I know who he is now, and I've met him before. Gaining on him, and I went past him as we turned left. I just went past him, and I sprinted down that little bit, and I managed to get 5th. And then I thought to myself, I was celebrating in my own head, and I went and got Clive a drink as well because I went and got myself a drink of water. Get Clive this drink of water because I felt bad for him, and he was saying, "I knew you were going to catch me. I knew you were going to catch me on the last bit." Guess how old he is?
95.
He's 68. But he's a really good runner. He's a nice man. To be fair, I went up to him and spoke to him after. I don't think I've ever spoke to him before. And shook his hand and we were talking. He says, "I knew you were going to get me. I can't run fast down the hills anymore. And I can run quite fast. So just let my legs take me." But yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I came fifth. I got 46 points." And I thought to myself, I'm celebrating just after beating. So it's no longer the rivalry with Trevor Hoyle anymore. Lord Trevor, the 64-year-old. I've got a rivalry now with a 68-year-old.
What are you doing picking on these pensioners, mate?
I know.
Yeah, turning his cap backwards, being all gangster and picking on these pensioners. James Mitchell, Rob was getting cool with the kids, having it backwards.
Yeah,
Chris,
I was.
Yes, I was surprised by the cap. Your cap is not getting much love on this podcast tonight, mate. I didn't see the photos. No,
it's not a fashion statement. It wasn't a fashion statement, believe me. I haven't got the head for a cap.
I need the photo.
You can have a look. I'll send you the photo.
No, you won't send it to me. You're going to post it on Instagram as soon as we do this. Actually,
Okay.
No, post it on Instagram now. We're live.
I don't know if it will go on. I don't think we've got him yet. Brian Dales hasn't come in.
What do you mean it won't go on?
I don't think Brian Dales released all the photos. I've got one of me with my cap on backwards. Hang on, let me see if I can find one.
Please.
There's one at the front at the start with my cap on backwards. But yeah, so I came 5th in that group.
That's very good. That's very good.
I was really happy about. I think that's the the best result I've had in a very, very long while. Here we go. There we go. I'll show you on the screen. This is me with my cap, with Ben Freeman, who is also in Group F, who came third. So well done to Ben. And I'm also wearing Roger.
Oh my word!
I don't look cool at all. I don't look
That's
cool.
hilarious. If you're watching, should Rob keep the hat for his next race? Yes or no? Give a thumbs up or a thumbs down if we like Rob's hat.
Everybody loves Rob's hat. Everybody loves Rob's hat. I've only worn it twice. I wore it for Potter's Off that year. It was ridiculously hot, so a couple of years ago. And I wore it for Tux to Half. It's a cap that folds, so the beak folds so it can stick in your pocket. And I wore it all the way around. Yeah. Yeah, I look like an absolute numpty. But it isn't a fashion statement, Ben. It's safety. It's sun safety.
But when you turn a hat backwards, you realise there's that little window that you can still get
Massive.
burnt on.
I know, but that's why I was turning it round. So I had the beak at the front, beak at the back, beak at the front, beak at the back.
No wonder the wheels fell
It'll
off. All that
stick.
extra energy that you were doing messing the hat around.
Yeah, I couldn't do the albatross either. I know Coley's just put on there. I couldn't do the albatross at the end. My arms were, I just couldn't. I couldn't be bothered. I was like, I just want to finish. I couldn't get my arms up high enough.
Here he is, Ken Shenton, making my
Ken.
Tittlesworth Hills will slow him up, Ben.
Yeah, so Ken was
here
there.
we go.
I
Good
saw
lad.
Ken yesterday. Give him a hug. He did really well as well. It's his first race back, so well done to Ken.
Did you Toxita?
He did. He was there yesterday. Yeah.
Cracking. How'd you get on, Ken? Let us know in the comments. Your hat is getting quite a few thumbs up, to be fair.
Good. It should do. It deserves it.
I'll take it all back.
Anyway, Chris Turner's nips. Let's turn the attention onto Chris Turner rather than my
because
hat.
You might have seen me doing a bit of a fist bump a while back on the video. I was celebrating because I'm going to get to hear about Chris's nips. Come on.
They were bloody because of the heat, sweat, and I don't know if he tipped water on his head because I tipped water on my head to try and cool myself down. He had blood. I'm going to show the picture on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's got bloody nips.
Do you not have any chub rub on him?
You know, I don't think he put any on. And he said he didn't feel it until after. Yeah, he needs a bit of chub rub on there. I put chub rub on mine. My nipples were sore after, to be fair. But it's because of the sweat and because of the water on my head. It was very, very hot.
Anybody in the comments got any useful suggestions for getting rid of chub rub? Let us know and we'll read them out. I've got to remember that people that are listening to this on Friday won't know what the comments are. So if we do see any comments about chub rub, nipples, help, tips, we'll read them out. Let us know.
Tips for your nips. There you go. That's what we'll call it.
Tips for your nips.
Have you got any tips for your nips?
A new feature, tips for your nips, sponsored by, we won't mention any brands until we get an actual sponsor.
Yeah.
Chris didn't notice until the end, until the end, and lesson was learned. Yeah, I think it's one of them things that you only do once because it absolutely kills when you have to get in the shower.
Yes.
See, women don't have this problem.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they might do. I don't know.
Would they? I don't know.
They might do. But anyway, so that was really, really hard, and I think everybody suffered. And a shout out to Amanda. I think Amanda had an asthma attack, so didn't finish the race. And James had to support her as well. So shout out to Amanda Kelly. Carl Moulton won his group. So well done to Carl Moulton. 1 hour 16, I think it was, which is absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to Carly Chorney as well. I only realised tonight when I was out running with her that she got a PB yesterday, 1:49. So well done to Carly Chorney.
Fantastic.
Absolutely smashed it. So well done everybody that finished that race yesterday. And I even had an ice lolly straight after. People coming over to me laughing at me because I was in the queue for an ice lolly straight after.
What did you go for from the ice cream van?
Yeah, I was going to have a twister, but they didn't have any twisters. So I had a strawberry split instead.
Oh, mate, that is...
What? What? You're
I keep
dissing my ice cream selection again.
I keep
Dissing
questioning
me.
my friendship to you.
They're nice.
We
Strawberry
talked about
splits are
sandwiches the
lovely.
other week. And you have jam and ham sandwiches. That's revolting. That's disgusting. Like,
not,
should
it's
never be
lovely.
mentioned again. Me and my mate Sam, when we walked up Snowdon, were mortified of that. But then you've just said you wanted a nice ice lolly to cool down, and you went for a strawberry split.
Well, what would you have had?
Not one with ice cream in the middle.
Why?
Because you want something nice and juicy. The Twister's
That
a
is
good shout,
juicy.
because that's really
Yeah,
juicy.
Twister. I would have had a Twister, but they don't.
Cider lolly.
They did have apple cider lollies, actually. Yeah.
There we go.
Might have had that. Should have had that, or a bubblegum lolly, or something like that.
Let us
Or
know in the
Calippo.
comments section, what would your favourite ice lolly be if you were really hot and looking to cool yourself down after a race?
Strawberry split.
We'll do a
Touch wood.
competition. Put your favourite lolly in the comments, and we'll pick a winner and send you. What can you send them?
I can send it. I can give them a sticker. Yeah, get rid of the
Magnet,
stickers. I
pin
can
badge.
give you a magnet sticker, car sticker, and bumper sticker. Got key rings. Got
Shall
pin badges.
we? Should we do a giveaway?
Go on then. Oh, what have you got?
Should we do a giveaway?
Yeah, shall we?
Should we do an actual giveaway?
What's the giveaway going to be? It can't be. You've got to have your favourite ice cream and give the favourite ice cream to somebody.
No, this is going to be an actual giveaway. So I am holding in my hands here a device that has been gifted to us by this brand here called My Lung Buddy. And they're going to be coming on the podcast in a few weeks' time. And we've got a special little partnership with My Lung Buddy, haven't we, Rob?
Yep.
And in the device here is a lung training device that you can use to improve, hopefully, your lungs and your breathing. And it's based on resistance training. And we'll talk about it in more detail on the future podcasts. And we're going to show you how it works on some YouTube videos and Instagram. But we will give away a lung buddy. How about that?
So I've got one. Ben's got one. And we're going to give one away. So we are going to be using it, and it's supposed to strengthen your lungs capacity as well. So if you think about it, your lungs are a muscle, and it works on the fact of resistance. So you breathe in and you breathe out. It's got two little dials either side for resistance on the breathing in and the breathing out. And it's like working your lungs out. Like we said, we'll get the experts who are the inventors or who are the people who sell the product onto the podcast to ask any questions you've got to them. So have a think, and we will let people know when that's going to be. We're going to do a YouTube live with them. So yeah.
I know you only got yours today. Have you had a go on it yet?
Yeah, I have actually, and I put it straight in when the resistance was the highest. I didn't realise, and it was hard work. I know. It was hard work. You have to work your way up. I realise that now.
So I used it the other day for the recommend. So basically, what you do is you put it in your mouth and you clamp down on it, and there's a little nose clip, and it basically, I don't know, we're talking like this now with my nose covered up, and you basically stop yourself from breathing through your nose, and you're supposed to breathe in deeply against the resistance, and then you have to breathe out against the resistance. And you're basically doing sets. So they said when we spoke to them, you're supposed to use it like you were in the gym. So do sets of these exercises. So like 30 of these big, deep breaths. And you do that for a period of time. And then you have a little rest, and then you go again. And then what you do over a period of time is to increase the resistance nozzles. And what you're basically doing is training your muscles, which are your lungs, to become stronger. And it should, in a period of, I think they said 6 to 8 weeks, it should help you with your ability to be able to consume oxygen, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We're not the scientists, but we're always game for trying stuff.
We're going to try it, aren't we? So we're going to see if it does have an impact. I know that you've done your time trial and you've done your VO2 max and things like that. So
So this week,
has an impact.
I received 3 devices. Rob's received a device, so we're going to be giving one away in future episodes. So make sure you're listening to the future episodes, and we'll announce the giveaway. But I basically started, and what I've done is the other day I went to the gym and I did a 5K time trial on the treadmill, and I used the treadmill because I wanted to make sure that I've got consistent testing environment, if we can call it that. So 0.5 gradient on the treadmill, and I did 5K. It came out about 18:30, which I was really happy with because I've not done so much running in terms of like speed sessions because I'm like training a little bit more holistically with gym work and deadly dozen training. So it came at 18:30. So I'm going to use this device, continue with my training because obviously doing that and not training isn't going to get you improving. You have to continue training. But I'm going to use that, and then in about 6 to 8 weeks' time, when we get Lung Buddy on the show, I'm going to report back if I've seen any improvements in things like my 5K time, respiratory intake, all that sort of stuff. Resting heart rate was something you're supposed to see an improvement on, they've told us.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at it and see where we're at. But stay tuned for the giveaway.
Yep. And we will be giving one away. And we might even combine it with something else because I've got some Protein Rebel that I haven't given away yet. So we might do a bit of a combo. So my Lung Buddy
Bit
and
of a
Protein
combo.
Rebel. And I might even, to put the cherry on the cake, put some stickers and a magnet in that bundle. So it's like a bit of a couch to coach
bundle. Anything to get away with those stickers and magnets. Talking of Protein Rebel, should we have just a quick reminder about the upcoming event?
Yes. So we're hosting the Protein Rebel Running Festival on the 5th of July, which is a Saturday. It starts at 9 a.m. With a 10K race, a timed 10K race, which is a combination of, well, it is a trail race, and you're going to be running through fields and through the forest, which has never ever been run on. So it's it's not a once in a lifetime because hopefully we might be doing it again, but it's a once in a first to actually get an opportunity to go and run on fields that have never been run on. And it's a nice route. We've been up. It's at the Aqueduct Marina near Crewe. So if anybody has been up there, it's a lovely setting. We went up, and the marina's gorgeous, and the fields are gorgeous, and you run past the River Trent, which is also gorgeous. I think it's River Trent. I might be wrong. I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. But you run past the river, and then after the 10K, it's not just a race, because after the 10K, so myself and Ben, are hosting a conversation with 5 different people. So we are speaking to Helen Rybar, who is a friend to the show. We dedicate the Strive Our leaderboard to her every week. And she came up Snowdon with us, so it'll be really good. So we're going to speak to her. And then we're going to speak to Laura Swanton Ruvellin, who is one of the UK's top ultra runners and just one of 4 women to ever complete the Hardmoors 200. That's going to be interesting. Never met Laura, sorry. So it's going to be interesting. Yep. Then we've also got another friend to the show, Steve Melling, who is the Recovery Runners or Recovery Group founder, who has been on the podcast this time last year, actually, because he came on Mental Health Awareness Week. It'd be nice to catch up with Steve again. He came on to talk to us about his addiction in the past and how running helped and saved his life. And then we've got Ben Taylor, who's a hybrid endurance athlete who runs less for times and medals and more for headspace and testing his resilience. I think he's Bungle Ben or something like that on Instagram. So go check him out on Instagram. Yeah. And then we've got Katie Latham, who is a standard distance duathlon British champion, 35 to 39, European medal holder and 5th in the world. So we're looking forward to be speaking to Katie. And then another get past guest and friend to the show, Rhino boy Chris Green. So he is going to be coming on. So he's going to be coming to talk to us about all the work that he does for Save the Rhinos, and he is also a record holder, or Guinness World Record holder, because he's ran 113 marathons and ultras dressed as a rhino. So he's a person that's done the most marathons, and I think it's the most marathons in the same 3D outfit. for
And I think
Save the Rhino.
the event will be a really good event. Hopefully, we'll have nice weather, but it should have a real good community feel about it because it is, quite, it's close to Staffordshire. Well, it's in Staffordshire, isn't it, really?
It's in Cheshire. It's actually Cheshire.
Cheshire,
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, so it's very close.
Very close, but it's going to have the community feel about it. So hopefully, we'll have lots of listeners there and local people that listen to the show and maybe are runners from the NSRRA. But if you're coming to the event and you're thinking, like a lot of people do, kids, all that sort of stuff, what do I do with them? We're going to have like the 10K, and then we're going to have all the listening. It's in a nice big green field, lots of stuff to do for the kids there already. But then we're going to have the fun community run at the end where everybody runs around together. Rhino Boy Chris is a great thing to keep the kids entertained. He will definitely keep them entertained. I was lucky enough to see Rhino Boy in his costume at the Mini Athletics Superstar event last year. But Mini Athletics, we will also be there. So we're going to be doing some free Mini Athletics sessions where you can turn up with your kids and get your kids 1 to 8 years old. Rach is actually going to be running the sessions, confirmed. So we'll have Mini Athletics sessions for the kids to do free of charge. Maybe if there's a couple, one of you is running the 10K, the little ones can do Mini Athletics as well, which is a bit of a rare opportunity because there isn't a Mini Athletics in Staffordshire. There is in Cheshire.
Oh, is it?
But maybe a little bit further. I think it's Cheshire and High Peaks.
Yeah.
But those of you like in the Stoke region, Staffordshire region, you may not have experienced Mini Athletics before, so it's a good opportunity to come and experience that.
And I would argue, you could argue that it's very rare that you go to a race and also there is an opportunity for you to take your kids along with you, and also the kids are entertained because you go to races, you run, they might be watching you run, but you don't tend to get an opportunity to keep them entertained whilst at the run and the event. And whilst you're watching the conversations between us and Helen Rybar and us and Rhino Boy Chris or Laura or whoever or Ben, they'll be entertained even more. And then obviously there's a fun run as well, so they can get involved in that 2.5K fun run, which again is another great opportunity. So get yourself
opportunity for the kids to get inspired into athletics and running.
Yeah. And also there is an early bird price. Normally it's going to be £30. However, it's now £25. So if you want to get yourself signed up, go and get yourself signed up because the early bird price finishes at the end of May, so the 27th of May. So if you're thinking about doing it, go and do it. And also you get opportunity to speak to us. We will be there.
You do.
And we might even do some giveaways ourselves, and we might take some stickers and we might take some magnets.
You're in your stickers and magnets. Before we move on, you haven't got the worst lolly choice.
Oh, who's got the worst lolly choice?
James Mitchell.
What's he? Oh yeah, Zap.
I like you, James, but you've gone retro and just disgusting.
Oh, that Zap's like multicolored ice cream, isn't it?
Yeah, and by the time you finished, it just looks like green mush on a stick. It's not refreshing in the slightest. Yes, it's cold. James, hang your head in shame.
Yeah, well, I can't disagree with him though. They are nice. I wouldn't choose them probably, but I would. To be honest with you, I normally wouldn't choose a strawberry split. I was going to have a 99, but then I thought, I want something more refreshing on a strawberry split. So
let's
move on. Shall we look at a live Strive Our Leaderboard?
Let's look at a live Strive. It's only going to be 1 day's worth of running.
No, I know, but we'll do last week's, and then I might announce who's currently top for this week. So live from last week, in 5th spot, we have a name, if I don't know who this is, so we need to check him out, is Alexander Moisine with 50.9 miles. So well done to Alexander. We need to check if you are a legitimate person and you're not just one of them other Taros Bernos people. So we'll check that out. In 4th spot with 51.2, we have Tony Brown. So well done, Tony Brown. In 3rd spot with 59.6, we have Kevin. Oh no, it's Alexander Moisinkov, and he's from Ukraine, apparently. So we'll check that out. In third spot with 59.6, we have Kevin Powell. So well done, Kevin. I don't know if we know that person either. In second spot with 62.8 miles, we have Isaac Elkington. So well done to Isaac. He did an event the other day. I'll come on to that in a minute. I'll try and find out some more information about that. But he was in an ambulance, so I don't know if he was poorly. And then top of the shop with 67.1 miles. Well done to Kieran Bedford. So well done, Kieran Bedford. Saw Bedford yesterday. He was encouraging people. He didn't run. I know his girlfriend ran. Might be his wife. I'm not sure.
He's doing a lot of encouraging this season, isn't he?
He is. He is.
Being a fantastic supporter. I saw him at Crewe a couple of times, and he was always giving out the cheers with his little one.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
We've got a shout out. Are you ready for this, guys? I'm going to do a live shout out of the week. Watch your ears. So we've got shout outs of the weeks from some people. So Leo Wheeler wants to give a shout out to Isaac Elkington. So well done to Isaac Elkington. He says, got to be worth a shout out. I don't know him, but I often wonder what on earth he's training for when you mention him on the podcast. This is another level of sorcery. He did a 45.81 miles at 6 a.m. with an elevation gain. Oh, get this, 8,563 foot. A moving time of 9 hours and 1 minute, which is absolutely nuts. So well done to Isaac Elkington. You'd massively deserve a shout out for that.
Incredible.
It's also, we have a shout out from Angelina on Ballerina. So she wants to give a shout out to a young girl called Penny. She met a girl called Penny at All Stage of 5, both running their first NSRRA race. We chatted en route. She saw her again at Cheadle. We chatted again. We keep in touch on Strava. When I told her I was thinking of pulling out of Clayton, which is this Wednesday, which is her home turf, she said she would support me round, and even if we were last, we would complete together. That night she entered just to support me. Blown away by her kindness. Would love you give her a shout out. So it's Penny Morris. So shout out to Penny Morris. A newbie like me, and that's why running is the best community ever. So well done.
It
and
really is.
We also have a shout out from Carly. From Chris for Carly. So shout out to Carly for the podcast this week, mate. Double mum. I didn't read this properly because it says she got a PB there.
He's stumbling again. He's stumbling again.
I know. A double mug winner. She got an age category mug and also a group winners mug. I came nowhere near. And also got a PB. Unreal how she's done that. Oh, and Ken Shenton as well for getting back to NSRRA and straight in with a bloody difficult half marathon. Always love seeing and chatting to Ken. So thank you for that, Chris. If anybody's got a shout out of the week that they want to give and they're on YouTube now, let us know.
Doing this live episode because I like it this way. We've got a couple of shout outs.
All right, okay.
So Chris has said Isaac is okay. He did the lap at Windermere, and it's his birthday today.
Oh, Isaac's birthday. Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
Isaac's birthday today. So happy birthday to Isaac. Rob is now going to sing happy birthday to you, Isaac.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, crazy Isaac. Happy birthday to you. Ready for this? You. Hip hip.
Hey.
Hip hip.
Hey.
Hip hip.
Hey.
He has to return the favour because it's my birthday on Friday. So Isaac, you've got to return the favour. If you're not listening to the podcast, somebody please tell him that I have sang happy birthday. So I want a message off Isaac on Friday singing me happy birthday.
I'm just going to make a note that it's Rob's birthday on Friday. Because
not that you've forgotten or anything.
I did not know that. So yes. And I want to give a shout out because we have a lolly winner.
We have a lolly winner.
We have a lolly winner. Carly Chorner. She's getting a lot of mentions today. She wins the lolly winner because the king of the lollies, it is official, is the Calippo.
Yeah, they are good.
For refreshing, cooling lollies, it is the Calippo.
The only problem is I like Calippos, but the only problem is when you suck on them, I don't know. I'm the end bit.
Are you still
Gets
talking about
all-
Calippos?
Yeah, yes. The end bit gets all mushy and horrible. I'm gonna clip that bit and put that on Instagram. When you're sucking on the end, it gets all mushy.
Oh,
But it
God,
does.
what a
It does.
God.
It does get on. It does to get all
God.
horrible. So yeah, but it does nice. It does good.
Do you suck on
good
the end
shout.
regularly?
Only in summer. Only in summer. Anyway, moving on. Couch to coach news. Couch to coach news. Couch to coach news. Have we got any couch to coach news this week?
We have got couch to coach news, but it is bad news.
Oh no.
It is bad. Well, it's not bad. It's bad news, but it's not unsurprising news. What do you think it's going to be about? Running related?
Part run.
No.
Marathons.
Yes, close.
Oh. London Marathon.
London Marathon. What
Oh.
would the bad news be, but not unsurprising?
I don't know.
No?
They cancelled it.
No, they haven't. So, for those hoping to do the London Marathon 2026
Yeah.
and are hoping to get a place through the ballot, which never happens,
Yeah.
it's going to get even harder because 1,133,813 people
Wow.
have entered the ballot to run in the 2026 TCS London Marathon.
That's got to be a record, surely.
And that is another world record for the race. And it
Madness.
represents a massive increase on the previous record.
I was going to say, wasn't the previous record like 500,000 or something?
840,318, which was for last year.
Crazy.
So it is getting ever more popular in the ballot. And a few stats about it. 869,803 of those applicants are from the UK.
How many? Say that again.
869,803.
Wow.
So the record from last year has been smashed just by UK applicants.
UK applicants.
264,000 from international people.
Yeah.
And then of the UK applicants, it's a pretty even split between men and women, with 49.87% men, 49.55% women, and 0.58% are non-binary. And it is likely that there will only be 15 to 20,000 ballot places available. So you've got more chance, and I can say this because it's live, of rocking all shit.
You can't swear. You can't swear on YouTube.
Why?
Because you can't. Well, you have now. So
I just did.
I know you did. Yeah, it's more chance of yeah, that. That's crazy. That is. That's crazy.
It is. It's absolutely mad. I don't enter the ballot anymore for London.
Don't you?
No.
I have. I do every year.
I don't.
I do it because Stoke Fit they tend to get a place, and if you've not been successful in the ballot, you then use your ballot place to enter into that ballot, if that makes sense. And then they do like a wheel of names, and then somebody gets picked.
I'm going to be controversial now.
Go on.
It annoys me.
What, the ballot?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I know lots and lots of people that want to run the London Marathon.
Yeah.
Who would, class themselves not necessarily as serious runners, but runners, and want to do the marathon. And they've probably trained for many, many years to do the marathon or to get to a marathon. And I'm talking about, anybody that you might come across for North Staffordshire Road Runners Association, right? So people that have got ambitions of doing a marathon. But then I know people that have never wanted to run a marathon in their life, but because it's like that big thing about all the ballots open, I'll put my name in the hat and then they get a spot.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
but I do understand, and we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, funnily enough, for Stoke Fit, because we were talking about the ballot place, and there was an AGM,
Yeah.
and they've changed the constitution to say that you've got to have run half a marathon before you enter the ballot to get to
Yeah.
a place at
Yeah.
London. And I completely understand where you're coming from. However, I also think that if it is a motivating factor for somebody to get the ballot place, because it's similar to me, I'd never ran a marathon. I'd never really, I'd run a half a marathon, I think, at one point
Yeah.
before I entered for London. No, had I? Yes, I think I had. I can't remember. But I applied for the ballot, didn't get a place in the ballot, and I went for the Parkinson's UK. And the motivating factor me for applying for the London Marathon was watching London Marathon on the television. I watched it on television, and it really motivated me and really encouraged me. And I think that is always going to be good for the running community, to get other people in the running community, no matter how fast or how slow they are. I think it's really important that if they are motivated enough to enter the ballot, as long as they then follow through and go and do London Marathon, it's only good for the running community.
I agree. I do agree. But my point basically, this is why I said it's controversial.
It is.
My-
It is a very controversial.
My point basically being is if I'm watching London Marathon and I've never ran, let's say I'm somebody that's never ran and I'm watching London Marathon, I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's really inspiring. I think the first thing that you should do if it's really inspiring is stick your trainers on the next day or even that afternoon and go, do you know what? I'm going to go out and do something. But what I'm trying to say is the people that potentially go, I think that's inspiring. I'll put my name in the hat for the ballot. Then they have to wait until when is it, like October or something, when it's announced.
Yeah.
What are you doing between now and October?
Yeah.
And that's the bit. That's the bit I'm talking about. I think it's like
I understand.
it's inspiring, and that's where I think it needs to be maybe looked at. But on the other hand, if you look at the other end of the spectrum, I never want London to be kind of that thing where you can only get in if you're sub 3 hours or you're elite, like Boston, like you have to have your Boston qualifying time.
Yeah.
Because that really does stop people that genuinely are inspired and want to achieve something and maybe have never ran before. So I don't think it should go that far. But I think there needs to be something done about maybe potentially the people that just put their name in, because I have the marathon's one of them things, isn't it? That it's really, you have to respect it and you have to kind of not underestimate it. And I kind of think sometimes I've heard it in the past where people haven't done anything. They've put a marathon ballot in, they've got the spot, and they don't go.
Yeah.
They
I
don't
don't
train and
agree
they
with
defer, and it's like that's your problem. It's like I don't know how, and that's not our job to do it, and how you kind of police that. But
it's difficult to police that.
It's a tough one, and I think as it gets more and more popular, this is why we're talking about it. With 1.1 million entries, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like,
it is.
For only 20,000 spots, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people.
There is going to be a lot of disappointed people, but there's always an opportunity to do it for charity.
And that's where I think it's those people that are inspired by it and think actually, because if, let's say, for instance, like you were inspired to do it and you went and did double down on two things. I'm inspired. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to raise money for a charity that means something great deal to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the bit where I think if you are inspired and you genuinely want to do it, there isn't really anything stopping you, because you can go and get a charity place. And if I've got a friend that's never ran a marathon before and they say, I'm going to go and run this for cancer research, Macmillan, Parkinson's, I'll go, right, here's 50 quid.
Yeah.
And you can raise a lot of money in the meantime. Anyway, another discussion, eh?
Yeah.
Told you it's controversial.
It is controversial, but it is a good point, and there's always going to be that argument about who should be entering for anything. And I think it always comes down to London Marathon, because it's just a hard thing to get into. Similar to the Great North Run, which obviously it isn't as long, obviously, because it's a half marathon. But again, that's got to be treated with respect, because it is such a big event and it's on television and things like that. But I will always go back to, if the people are inspired, that's only a good thing for them, for their mental health, for their own physical health, but also for the running community as a whole. No matter how fast or no matter how slow you are, whatever age you are, disability, gender, whatever, it's always good for the running community to have a
It is.
diverse and inclusive
Oh,
community.
absolutely, absolutely.
So I hope you've enjoyed this live, guys.
Sorry about the rant.
No, it's good. It's good. Good conversation. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this live. We will be doing it more often. We're going to be doing it on a weekly basis. If we haven't got any guests, we will just be doing this kind of thing. Let us know in the comments if you've enjoyed it. If you haven't joined us for live, please do join the MailChimp, the mailing list, and you could be in with a chance of winning an entry to the Protein Rebel Festival of Running. God, we've got loads of giveaways, and we'll also be giving away a My Lung Buddy training device, with some Protein Rebel products, energy gels. So let us know.
Brand placement right there.
We will be getting a giveaway announced for that, but also there is a giveaway if you want to win a free entry to the Protein Rebel Festival of Running.
I mean,
just go and join our mailing list.
This is where we have to say, people that are on the mailing list and the loyal fans that watch the YouTube videos, they're the ones that are going to be rewarded with the giveaways going forward.
Yeah.
So get yourself signed up. Head over to Instagram, go to the link in bio, sign up to the mailing list, come and watch us on the YouTube live podcast. But if you're on the mailing list, that is the only way you're going to get your hands on giveaways going forward. And I've just seen Isaac Elkington.
I know, I've just seen that. So Isaac Elkington has just joined us. So Chris just told me about the birthday shout out. Thanks, not a problem, Isaac. I did give you a shout out. I sang you happy birthday, and I expect one on Friday because it's my birthday on Friday. And yes, I'm fine off my race last week. I'll catch up with the rest of the podcast later on. Absolutely.
And that's the power of the community. We've just spoke about it. Someone's gone off, told Isaac.
Thank you,
Here
Chris.
he is. Happy birthday. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for joining in. Love it.
And we will see you all later.
See you later.